Back in the saddle.
We are
What'd you say?
live. Go ahead, baby.
Yeah. Are our audio waves good?
Audio waves are
How are
checking.
these audio cheese good? Yeah. Here, let's adjust you, dude. You look kind of silly.
No wasted space.
Ooh, that's good. That's so good. Oh my God, we're here. Let's freaking ride, dude. Oh, we're back. How's everyone doing today?
We are doing well. Thank you for asking, Deck. So back in show number 14
Yeah.
on a little Friday night.
Whew. Well, today's Thursday. June 30th? No, May 30th. May 30th is the actual day. But yeah, recording this on a Friday beforehand. A lot of things to unpack, man. It's been, we had a little hiatus last week with the Stationary Astronaut podcast, the Dominate the Sandbox special. And then now we got a little new studio producer. Dude, what's going on over here? We got to coach him up on the mics, though. Look at this. Look at this buffoon over here.
Yeah, we'll bring you a little closer.
Oh, my gosh.
And
Nope, not like that at all.
no, you get to talk into the Audio Technica. It says it like on the base of the mic, and that's where you're going to be speaking. And the closer you are, the better, because they're condenser mics.
Yep.
So
Wanna
it
be
picks
about
up
fist away.
just enough.
I
So
don't want to block off the moneymaker, though.
the moneymaker, baby.
That's all right, though.
Yeah.
The moneymaker is your voice, man.
good.
That
We got-
nice, soothing voice of yours, Matt Christenson.
Got a couple waves. Got a shout out from Mr. Amick.
Very nice.
How we doing, Mark?
Ooh, should we call him in?
We should definitely call Mr. Amick in
Okay.
at some point.
So, Matty C, let's set the scene. Let's hit this podcast running. We got to address the news, gentlemen. We got some serious news. We're not a news podcast.
We don't break a lot of news.
We don't break
broke
news.
We broke news on the very first soundbite of the podcast in episode 1.
First thing we ever did.
First thing we ever did was broke news.
We
And
broke
I don't
news.
think we have ever since.
And it's been 170-something podcasts. And now we're back.
Now we're back with some news for you. So should we? How should we go about this?
I think you're the newsbreaker.
Are we going to read an article or just let it?
Nope.
You know?
I think we know it. Just say it, right?
St. Thomas has been removed from the MIAC.
Yep.
Due to high level of competition and enrollment.
Yep. The involuntarily left is the
I like
headline
that.
grab.
I like that.
Yeah, and that's a great headline. And yeah, it all had to do. It stemmed from St. Thomas. For those who don't know, St. Thomas is where we all went to school. We all played football there. We all competed athletically there. And they got kicked out of their conference, the MIAC, the Minnesota Intercollegiate Athletic Conference. Is that right, Matt?
Yep, the MIAC. Do you think we were too competitive at our time in our practices and our obviously in our games, but on the day-to-day, Decky outside going to get some tight ends? Were we a little too heated?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I was on scout team. I was going pretty hard. And I think I was going a little too hard. That was difficult. But, you know, what are you going to do? I mean, when I'm going against someone as big as you, who's taking up the entire GoPro screen, you know, it's hard to get around someone like that.
About time you guys get someone here to fill it up.
Love that. Love that. So was St. Thomas a founding member of the MIAC?
Yeah.
What year was that?
The same year the Titanic was built, probably. The same year. The same exact year. Do you not trust it? We're good. Anyways, but yeah, same year the Titanic was built, I think. Was the same year that the St. Thomas would join the MIAC, like 1907.
Is that when the Titanic was out there?
You got to assume they
I feel
started
like Titanic was in the 18. I could be wrong.
No,
fact-
dude, no. The Titanic, and Matt, maybe you can help us out with this, but I think Titanic was built or was set sail in like 1913. Definitely blueprints were coming around 6 years before then.
And St. Thomas was roughly around,
St. Thomas
fighting the battles against St. John's around that time.
Yeah, they had just started thinking about it. The blueprints were there.
1912, attaboy.
I was almost dead nuts.
Okay.
So that's something that I'm not usually good at, but here we are.
You're confident today.
Yeah.
You're
Feeling
feeling like you're on a high horse?
Yeah.
Yeah. You're wearing this shirt that makes you feel like you're an alpha?
Yeah, okay, so here's another thing too is, you know, I'm a man of my word, I should say. And I said on the podcast we did with Zach Fisk, our little thrifter, that I was like, you know what, I think Lion shirts are pretty dope. So all the hustle that I've been having on this podcast, or on not on this podcast, on Poshmark, you know, making a little dough there, decided to splurge, buy a little $15 Lion shirt.
Wow, dude, a little subtle brag.
Yeah.
Decky flip. He can flip clothes.
Yeah, I'm flipping big time now.
Yeah.
So
So
what do you think, though?
I would love to get your input on this as well, Matt. You know, I see a dude in a lion shirt or in a shirt with an animal, and you usually think the opposite of what they're wearing, right? So, and a lion is the king of the jungle, so he's wearing a king shirt, like he's the king of his surroundings, therefore. And I think internally you're kind of the opposite.
Mm-hmm. What's that, like a muskrat in The Lion King? One of those little Simba's little friends. I forget what they're called. But,
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. Lemur almost.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, something like that. You're like a lemur, dude.
Lemur deck.
Lemur deck.
Yeah, dude. Is that what you think I am?
Yeah, yes. My opinion.
All right. I'll go with it. I think that I'm blatantly a beta. Like, this is such a
Correct.
This is such a
Blatantly a beta.
Like me wearing a lion shirt, they're like, good joke. But I'm just like, you know what? You gotta try and enforce it, dude. You gotta have the heart of a lion, you know. And that's how I see it.
Oh, okay. I give you that, dude. You got the heart of a lion.
Yeah. Thank you, dude.
I'll give you
Thank
that,
you.
100%.
All right.
But the king of the lion with the you know, I don't know what it's called.
What do you mean? What
The
you
vibe-
don't know what it's called?
You got the heart, dude. I'll give you. Let's leave it at that.
Leave it at that. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Sounds good. It's hard to give a hot take or provide any sort of controversial thing with wearing a lion shirt. You know, I don't know if a lot of people are gonna be taking me seriously.
You should wear that to comedy next week.
I'm wearing it to comedy tonight.
Nice.
Yeah. So we got that going for me. But yeah, next week for sure. I think this will get me on, right?
That'll get you on.
Yeah. Corey, if you're listening, if I'm wearing it. All right, but yeah, let's get back into this. So, man, we've always said on this podcast, controversy is the air we breathe. So we don't necessarily we provide hot takes. We provide things that we have opinions, right? I personally think this whole thing is very soft. I think it's soft that the MIAC kicked us out and went the easy route. They didn't take the worthy route and try and build all the other 9 programs, and it's not even the 9 other programs. It's the bottom feeders of the conference. They didn't want to invest their time into making their programs better. They decided to take the easy route and say, let's lessen the competition and stick with what we have. So I think it's a little soft and it's a little concerning. I'm worried now that other conferences are now going to follow suit. And St. Thomas isn't the only one kicking the shit out of other bad teams. I'm worried that other conferences are going to see this and be like, this isn't a bad idea, and take the soft route, the easy route as well.
The big dogs.
Yeah, I don't know. That's my take.
That's a great take. My take on it is, you know, we were very good for 10 years. Not great, not outrageously the best team in the country. We never won a national championship. We did go to 2, and we won 6 conference titles in 10 years. That was pretty awesome.
It's pretty good.
I loved our football career and everything that we did with it. All the other athletics were freaking awesome. The softball team always competed, and if not won their conference, our conference. And the track and swimming, I think, have won like 19 years in a row, something crazy like that.
Basketball, tons of success.
But also we've seen them not win. So other teams have been able to oust us frequently. It's not like we're, rolling through the competition year after year every time. And it's only been 10 years of this greatness. And with all that said, like, people don't necessarily want to hear us talk about it. They want to hear our marketing interns, the people that also went through it.
Mm-hmm.
So I say we take some call-ins. I know that some people have already reached out to us and said they wanted to get their words out there.
Absolutely.
So should we give people calls?
Let's dial some people up.
Okay, who's the first one on the docket?
Let's go Mark Amick.
Mark Amick actually just texted me, and he's in a crowded terminal, and I believe I would be an obnoxious call that he wouldn't be able to.
Okay.
So do you have Ferrazzo's number?
I do, but it's on my phone.
Okay.
Who has Ferrazzo's number?
I might. We should have planned this a little bit, but we always think on the fly here. I got it. All right.
Wow. What a blessing in disguise there.
Yep. We're giving Ferrazzo a call here.
Hopefully he answers.
We told him around 6, so.
Okay. It's around that time.
What's the segment called, do you think?
Controversies, the air we breathe.
Yeah. Great call. It's a staple of the back pocket.
Yeah, it's stable.
Come on, Frost.
God damn it.
Hi, you've reached Dan Ferrazzo.
What a loser. All right, hey, call Greg. Greg, he's on live stream. We'll get his takes. Sorry, Dan's not a loser. I just wish he answered his phone.
I do not have Mr. Amick's number.
You have Mr. Amick's number?
Oh, I have Mrs. Amick's number.
Call her too.
Here's Mark. Mark's got us, dude. Hello, Mark.
Boys, how we doing?
Hey, how's the terminal life?
It's all right. Can you hear me okay? I'm just talking through my headphones here.
Your audio sounds great. Welcome
Okay,
to
perfect.
the segment called "Controversy is the Air We Breathe."
It sure is. Happy to be here.
All right, so Mark, Declan Brown on the phone here. Hope your day is going well. We just wanted to get your takes on the recent news with the MIAC taking St. Thomas out of the conference. Your thoughts?
A lot of thoughts on it. Let's see. I'll just start by kind of shitting on the MIAC to start. I think it's pretty disgraceful. I think it's pretty petty and childish, and I think that the presidents of the MIAC should be ashamed of themselves. But I guess that's the world we live in now. If you can't beat them, boot them. So they did that. I don't know, man. I think the reasoning behind it's just pretty crazy. I was tuning in live, and Andrew, I thought you brought up some great points just about the dominance lately. And it's been 10 years, but it hasn't been overwhelmingly dominant, I guess. And then them talking about enrollment size, I think, is also kind of a bullshit excuse. But I think I have a unique perspective, obviously being on the football team, but then being a sports medicine assistant for every other team and getting to kind of see St. Thomas athletics firsthand. And the excellence and the culture at St. Thomas is just through the roof across every single sport. And I love it, and I'm proud to be an alum, and I am excited for what's to come. I think St. Thomas is too good for the MIAC, and we just got to start attacking it elsewhere. So,
Where do we go from here?
Where do we go from here?
Yes.
I don't know, man. I think we hit it back in season 1, maybe season 2, and I think Julie she has what it takes to go D1, and she's ready for it.
Yep.
We trust the process at St. Thomas, and I think that's what it's going to be. It's going to be a long process, but I think they could pull it off, man. I really do. Why not?
Mark, I love your takes, and I appreciate you for calling in and sharing your opinion. You're a hell of a man and a hell of a Tommy. Thank you so much.
Roll Toms.
Roll Toms.
All right.
All right. Anyone else on the live stream that's reaching out, Matt, or should we just call some random fellas?
We got Big Ticket Madge.
Matt,
tuning in.
Ooh, Mash would be good. Jack Doomer actually wanted to be called, so maybe we
Awesome.
dial him up.
We'll dial up Jack. I think Mark brings up a great point with the future. D1. Oh, Jack Doomer goes straight to
Wow,
voicemail.
that guy. Whoa, wow. Wow. Okay, that guy does not want to get a call.
Yeah, I'm gonna call Madge.
Okay.
He's a Wisconsinite. So for all those people that don't know Madge,
Yeah.
Madge is a
He's
pointer.
He's
in
our
the
WIAC. Yeah, he's our WIAC representative.
Mhm.
So we're a little, we have to get an outside perspective.
Yes. He's also my younger brother and a swimmer at D3. He has dominated. His school has dominated the WIAC in the last, I think, 10 years.
So
And
they're
they're
about
still-
to get booted.
No, they're still there.
Oh,
So-
interesting.
Is he in live stream right now? Is that what it said?
Your call has been forwarded.
He commented like 30 seconds before we.
Okay.
Hopefully he
Give
gives me
him
a call
a call.
back. Let's see. Well, hopefully
Anyone on
for-
your end, Matt? You were about to say something.
I was just gonna say we had Curtis James. Remember that name getting dropped during all recruiting? That all lineman transferred from D1.
Yes.
He put an article up, his St. Thomas Athletic Manifesto. So if we aren't able to call anybody in, we can take a few comments from him. But I mean, the first thing I saw that he talked about was transferring to St. Thomas primarily because he didn't want to be owned, quote unquote, by a scholarship school, and all they went through. While no big fancy facility, they had a copper tub for their ice tub. Maybe they didn't have heated water. Going through all that, and this is just part of it. You spend your career rooting yourself into those beliefs, into that culture, only to have a group of 13 people decide to involuntarily remove you and take it away because you've had too much success athletically. It's heartbreaking and leaves our community equally hurt and pissed off. But there's like a 2 or 3 page document that we can pull some quotes from if we don't.
Curtis James was a beast,
Mm-hmm.
and that's that's awesome to hear from him. Wow.
Yeah, that's nuts.
Do you, if we want to get to it, I'll outline what the different schools reported for their expenses during the 2 years ago. And St. Thomas was the most spent, but the next one closest was only $30K less, and that was Augsburg.
In terms of spent on their athletic program?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
So you hear like the Augsburg president pretty much outed 2 weeks ago, saying that all the presidents were in an agreement that they were gonna boot St. Thomas.
Mm-hmm.
So here's one stat: St. Thomas $4.86 million across 20 sponsor sports. Augsburg College reported $4.57 million.
Whoa.
GAC reported 4.42. St. Olaf 3.75. Bethel 2.84. St. John's didn't report. And
They didn't do their taxes that year?
No.
Wow. And that's not shocking at all. Huh.
And then they just compared that to a couple of like D2 and D1 programs. So
Interesting.
they try to say we spend too much and have all this emphasis on it, but for a 4.85 or 4.8 or $4.5 million budget, like the $30K really is nothing at all.
Yeah, no. When
Doesn't
you put
make
it
a
in
dent.
terms of millions.
Yeah.
A couple zeros extra there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's interesting. I didn't even realize that. That's kind of like, I mean.
Well, you think about all the travel we had to do. I mean, like
Right.
the NCAA covers some of that, but I know like some of it comes out of pocket too. Like if they're gonna try
Right.
to like help feed the athletes like one meal or like cover some hotel costs, whatever it may be.
Right. Yeah, I'm interested to see, if we end up doing the whole independent. Oh, Tommy Becker. Should call him in. So anyways, I think it's kind of crazy, like, if you think about it, if we were to go like independent, how much more we'd actually probably have to spend, because we're not playing every single like local MIAC or Minnesota school. We'd customize our schedule to Wisconsin, probably Iowa.
Yeah.
Still play the St. John's, GAC, and Bethel, and then see what happens, right?
Yeah, if you stay D3 or you stay at independent conference for sure.
Right.
But you have to have a good strength of schedule and either go undefeated or 1 or 2 losses against like top 10 teams in the country in order to get an at-large bid.
Mhm.
There's only 6, 7 at-large bids in the country.
Yep. Yeah, no, yeah, because now if you're not a part of a conference, then you have to fight for that at-large bid,
Yeah.
which means you got to go.
And that's just football. I mean, if you look at
Yep.
soccer, you look at softball, volleyball,
Oh, yeah.
men's hockey, whatever it may be, if they don't hop into a conference, that's way more challenging for them.
Right. I also love this hustle over here. Andrew's just calling everybody in his contacts. He's got a deep Tommy network, so it's fun to watch. Yeah, dude, it blows my mind. I also kind of think of it from like I think we can use it to our advantage for recruiting. And I know Caruso and all the coaches, Tower and everybody down the line is going to use this kind of as an advantage. I think it can be a great sales pitch. But it also is just like, man, if you're a freshman or a sophomore in this situation, I mean, the reality is like you just don't know what's going to happen. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, and then the not knowing is tough. Like it's it's just another one of those things that you got to worry about now.
Yeah. And I think for the football program, they will turn this into a positive. They'll keep it a positive mindset. Will the other coaches do that? I don't know them well enough, but if you turn this into an opportunity rather than like a why me or some sort of hurt, I mean, like, it could be huge advantage for the rest. Like, you gotta think, if you let's say you go D2 and you're in the NSIC, you're going up against all the other public.
Yeah. Hold on.
schools.
We have Jesse Addo live calling in right now.
Gotcha.
I'm gonna put you on speaker for a second.
All right. Good shit, Andrew.
All right, Jesse, welcome to the Backpocket Podcast. You know the drill at this point. You've been on the show. This is a segment called Controversy is the Air We Breathe. We'd love to hear your thoughts and opinion on St. Thomas getting ousted by the MIAC.
Guys, I think it's kind of cool. I think it's actually really exciting that this is happening. And when I first heard about it, I thought it was just kind of just a rumor, they blow over type of deal. But upon hearing that it was actually like happening, I was like, oh well, that's kind of sad that can happen where like you can just get ganged up on and like kicked out, but like at the same time it's like, well, sweet, like what does the future hold for the school? You know, like you're obviously gonna be able to play better in competition after this, you know. So I guess the question is like, well, where's St. Thomas's new home gonna be? Like, will we move over to a conference in Division III? And there's people talk about going up to Division II, whatever. But you know, I'm kind of of the mindset of, you know, reach for the stars, go higher. You know, if you're given the opportunity, you can go as high as possible. And you know, you might have seen that article that I put up on Police Up with you know, whether St. Thomas should go independent. And some former coaches reached out to me, like Coach Rosie. I know you guys like Coach Rosie. He actually texted me just like not too long ago. He's like, Jesse, like this is comical. You know, like I don't think like that's going to be possible. But you know, if you think about it, if you look at schools like Xavier, I was just talking with Evan Zoner and AC here, and you look at schools like Xavier and Gonzaga and Villanova. These schools have similar enrollments to our school. You know, just like one of your insider tips on the Backpocket Instagram story said, like the treasurer of the school, the CFO of USC, it might have been Dean Hart. He said it as well. Like, you know, our enrollments are all similar. Our endowments are all similar. Why can't the school allocate funding to athletics, place an emphasis on athletics? And, you know, when you succeed in athletics, the school just grows and booms and becomes more well-known, and you enlarge in the national footprint of the school. People want to come to your school to study, and you just attract better people. You attract better students. You attract better faculty. You attract better investors, people, donors, you know, people that want to just be a part of the community. So I think St. Thomas should go as high as possible. You know, D1. They should be aiming for D1. And if you have to go D2 to achieve that, then so be it. You know, go D2 for a while and then reach for the stars. Go higher. St. Thomas is a special place, and I think they should do everything they can to make it as special as possible, you know?
I love that. Thank you, Jesse. Any final questions, Deck?
No, I think you covered it. I love the take, and I really want to expand, you know, on this whole like the Villanova and like the schools where, you know, they have that very similar school size, that 6,600, that little sweet spot, and they have that endorsement. They have that network that could make it happen, and it's going to take a long time. Thank you, Jesse. Appreciate it, man.
For sure, guys. You guys rock. Take care.
Take care. That's awesome, man. I love that as well. I think we fit the mold of, you know, that private Catholic institution that
we are a private Catholic institution.
Well, that's the mold of like Notre Dame is not. I think Notre Dame is smaller than us.
Yeah, they are.
And Northwestern isn't. They're a state. Are they state?
They're. I think they're private, but they're not a private Catholic school.
Okay.
The closest ones are like Villanova, like a Lehigh, James Madison. All those like D1 AAs that are in, I think, the Patriot League, maybe, like a Georgetown or a Butler. Those kind of schools are all very similar in how they recruit, very similar in school size. Academics are through the roof. You know, that's definitely a mold. But I think the biggest problem is your solution being like probably $100 million investment. Like, think about that. How crazy that would be to basically turn the entire athletic program into a D1 program, right? You look at smaller sports, smaller revenue generating sports, and you see, you know, more volunteers pop up within these coaching staffs, and you have to turn these coaching staffs into full-time employees. So not only do you have to do that, you have to upgrade your athletic facilities. You have to probably build an entire building dedicated to athletics. So like Jesse said, it would be a major step, and it would probably take a decade to build out. And that is a decision that we have a year and a half, 2 years to really consider.
Hey, Kimmy.
Ooh, Andrew's got Kimmy Hassel.
Share your thoughts and opinion on the MIAC on the podcast. Yes. Yeah, you're not live currently, but you will be soon.
Let's go, dude. Do you think she's going to bite?
I'll throw you on speaker and then
Yeah. Look at Andy's sales pitch, baby.
Are you ready? All right, Kimmy, welcome to the Backpocket Podcast. You're on the segment called Controversy is the Air We Breathe. We're here to talk about the MIAC, the St. Thomas getting ousted by the MIAC. We'd love your thoughts and opinions.
My opinion is it's kind of a cop-out. I think it's only hurts the other team, especially for at-large bids. You lose a team that on your schedule that is for sure going to get in, so your strength of schedule just drops, and I really, truly do not understand it.
We're right there with you. We were shocked, but to the same point, it's like, you know, they once this whole article was brought out, and I was like, this is very realistic because the bottom feeders of our conference just don't have kind of like a drive to improve their athletics. So why not just like stay where they're at and remove the best people?
Correct. It kind of stinks for all the hard work that St. Thomas has put in to get where they're at and to just kick them out. Like, if you looked back multiple years ago, they weren't great in every sport. Before Caruso was there, before, for me, Cheetah at softball, they were terrible. Like, so to just not put in the work to be good seems not effective for the future of any college athlete when they go in the real world.
God, it's spot on.
Beautiful takes.
Do you have any thoughts on what's the future like for St. Thomas?
I don't know. I'm pretty intrigued and interested in the future. I would love to see D2, even a D1 option. I don't know if that's going to happen, but I think wherever we go, we're going to continue dominating. So beware of whoever takes us.
Love that, Kimmy. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Have a good rest of your day.
Awesome. You too.
I love that freaking take, dude. Good take by Kimmy Hassel. I'm glad that we're calling people in because we would not have these takes.
So Kimmy is
give some background.
she was a 2-time All-American softball player for St. Thomas. Graduated, I believe, in 2014, and she was part of a program, a softball program that was on the rise when she got there, and she competed at the highest level in the tournaments. I don't think they ever got to a national championship, but they made it to a Final Four or two. And she was part of the early stages of turning a program around.
Exactly, like the growth. And what's crazy too is, the point that I loved that she brought up was the investment that St. Thomas made in all the coaches, and how they basically said, hey, we want to make this softball program great. We want to make this soccer program great. We want to make this swimming program great. And they went out and found the best best coaches out there. And from that drew
Good, man.
like
Do you want me to
hold on,
share
Andrew's
your
going
opinion
live.
on the St. Thomas getting ousted by the MIAC on the Backpocket? Yes.
I love how we're just cold calling people, dude. Andrew's literally cold calling
Yeah.
his
Well, everyone's
content.
first question
Hold
is
on.
live.
They're all in.
Throw you on speaker first, and then you can get after it.
He just got Adam Kraft. We're going live.
All right, Adam, welcome to the Backpocket Podcast. You're here on a segment we love to call Controversy is the Air We Breathe. We'd love to hear your opinion on St. Thomas getting removed by the MIAC. What are your thoughts and opinions on this?
Well, first of all, I appreciate you guys having me on. Yeah, it's a little bit, in my mind, a little distasteful, personally. But obviously that comes with a grain of salt as somebody that played in a St. Thomas athletic organization for a little while. But I saw a nice piece today. I think it was Curtis James posted something that's been shared around quite a bit, showing the actual statistics on whether or not St. Thomas has been as dominant as people like to think, which has been blown out of proportion quite a bit. Personally, I think it's just kind of a slap in the face to the tradition of the MIAC. Founded in 1920, it's been 100 years of great athletics on many sides, whether that be St. Thomas, St. John's. Gustavus had some really good teams, Concordia, Bethel. It's really been a competitive run of 100 years. So it's interesting to see that now, after especially a couple down years for football. I know football's been the main focus. After a couple of what some would say down years, that this is the decision to be made. Personally, I think it's a little bit surprising. I'm not really sure if it's going to hold or not, given the ramifications of the actions of the MIAC and the lack of transparency and the lack of, really comment on their part. But, I think it's a struggle for St. Thomas students and for the people who are kind of in limbo, because they're student athletes. They're playing to win the MIAC. They're playing to get a bid into tournaments, national championship tournaments, and recruits that are being brought in not knowing what's going on. So it'll be interesting how it plays out, but I think it's a little bit seems like a little bit of ill will just towards St. Thomas alone for being good. And that's
you had to decline his.
I missed it. Damn it. I'm
All
not
right,
good
so
with
we
my
just
phone. So you
so we
should've-
just hung up on Adam
by
because
accident.
takes are too good.
Yeah.
Who was calling?
Madge was calling via Snapchat. Madge, next time call me on your phone. Sorry, Adam. I'm going to text you right now and apologize. A couple of mistakes there.
One thing that I thought when he was talking there a little bit that I haven't thought before is, I said 1990 to 2010, like St. Thomas hadn't really competed for a conference championship. But you got to think the 30, 40 years before that with Gallardi and how he's like a nationally well-known, well-respected
That's the
coach.
St. John's head coach.
Yeah, like they have the equivalent of the D3 Heisman named after him, and how, Caruso's been here for a decade now, and they want to like finally use him as kind of a scapegoat to kick the MIAC out of the St. Thomas out of the MIAC, but they ended up like idolizing this coach that was able to kind of dominate a conference for 30, 40 years.
Mm-hmm.
Something that just, whether it be the leadership in the MIAC, new leadership of presidents in the other universities, that just like, is it driven through money that they want to like get St. Thomas out of here? Are they just sick and tired of kind of getting beaten all sports, or just having it be more just outs of one team and make them a scapegoat?
Yeah, I mean, that's so true. Like it's really tough for me to see the monetary value behind it.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you take us out, that the games become more competitive and there's increased interest. I mean, is that the whole goal?
Yeah, I mean, like you think about the recruiting too. If St. Thomas
Recruiting for sure.
St. Thomas continues to bring in good talent, the less people are going to Augsburg, Concordia, whatever else. So then their alumni, their donors, don't have a whole lot of hope of improving beyond where they're at now. So they may donate a little less, and you do that donor after donor after donor. You may have a lot less donations at the end of the day than you really want to, based on your lack of performing.
That's a good point.
Okay, I like that.
Should we call like someone that didn't participate in athletics, or a parent,
I was
like a Mrs. Amick, Mrs. Doomer route, or I don't know.
I wanted to call Jake Reardon, who was a lineman at Carleton, just to get some opposite takes, so we're not just flooding the lines with St. Thomas takes.
People are gonna look at us like, yo, these St. Thomas haters,
right?
St. Thomas guys,
I honestly would love
yeah.
to hear what Jake said. I had talked to him on just about it off air, and he had his paraphrasing for him, he was just like kind of shocked by the whole thing, but he kind of understood it, because he said like their whole thing is just like the competitive advantage is tough, and they obviously want to get better, but it's more like the recruiting thing, I think, is what you were saying, Matt.
Sure.
Because that's where his whole
Gotcha.
his
So
whole
is
deal.
there anyone else we should call? I'm gonna call Madge. You can't call me via Snapchat, dude.
Should we get Madge on? Finish with Madge.
Yeah, we'll finish.
He's
with
an
Madge.
he's an outsider. He's a member of our MIAC perspective.
I don't know how this works, dude. On Snapchat.
It'll work.
So I got the weird bubbles going. I've never heard. Oh, here he is. Hey, Madge.
what's up?
You are a Division III current athlete in the MIAC right now.
Calling in from Snapchat.
I totally messed up the previous call, Adam Kraft. I apologize because you called on this Snapchat thing.
Yeah, so this is your fault, Matt.
This is your
Just
fault.
wanted to let you know. Welcome to the show.
Welcome to the show. This is a segment we like to call "Controversy is the Air We Breathe."
Yeah.
And we'd love to hear your thoughts on St. Thomas and the MIAC and that whole situation that went down. Are you there?
I don't know if he heard us.
No, he's bubbling.
He's bubbling.
Hold on, buddy.
This is why you don't call it on Snapchat, I think.
Why aren't you calling on my... Oh, because you're in, like, camp, I think. All right, Madge. Nice try, dude.
Dude, I'm out in the middle of nowhere.
Oh, here we go. You're in. All right, give me your thoughts. All right, dude, you're out.
Yeah, he's out.
You're out.
Hey, find
Middle-
a better spot, dude.
Yeah, next time, don't call in on Snapchat.
Yeah, sorry. So this is a lesson learned for all the marketing interns. We're not hard to reach out. Actually, we're so not hard at reaching out that we actually reach out to other people. But if you are reaching out, just call us.
Yeah, I feel like there was times when I turned up the gain on the mic and because I wanted to get the phone in there, and then I forgot that I turned it up, so I went to lead him in, and I was screaming again.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna have to do some post work on those.
Yeah, no worries. We'll really figure that out. I just want to do one thing real quick. I'll be right back.
All right, Deck's going to go do his thing, and I want to just give a quick rundown on the future St. Thomas. I mentioned this already. I think D1, Peace All, he's got it in her wherewithal, in her future, and that's where St. Thomas is heading. I'd love to see it. For all those people that don't see, like, we got a lot of bias in there, I gave some, or that see we had a lot of bias in there. I tried to give my best and call people, but those were just people that picked up, and I apologize.
Yeah, I mean, again, what do we name this segment? Controversies, the air we breathe. If we got on too many one-sided opinions, sorry,
I tried. I
Shout out
really
to
did.
Ty.
I called a bunch of people.
Yeah, we did. So now we did that. We'll close the segment with this. We're all driven by gratitude on this podcast, and as a community, we are, we're driven by gratitude and humility. It's been, like Adam Kraft said, it was about 100 years, right? 100 years in the MIAC.
He said that.
Yeah, and I want to give the MIAC a participation trophy for their efforts, in handling this whole situation, these last week. But also, running a conference. I think they deserve a nice participation trophy. So I'm going to officially present this, the Backpocket. Put your hands on here. We'd like to officially present this participation trophy, a token of our gratitude to St. Thomas, or to the MIAC. So we want to just thank you guys. All right.
Yeah.
So
that concludes our segment, Controversies, the Air We Breathe. I mean, we've done this segment time and time again. It's been about a lot of different things. The first thing was St. Thomas getting a dome.
How we've grown.
Oh, how we've grown. So thank you all for those who gave their opinion, and I'm looking forward to hearing the controversy that stems from here.
Yeah, and if you want to give your hot takes, if you want to get involved, we'd love a 5-star review on our podcast, and in the comments, just leave a comment. Leave a comment and just give us your takes.
Right on.
In addition to how great our podcast is, maybe it's up to you. But anyways, transitioning and trapping the puck. Holy cow, what an intro to this show. We'll do this, as we always do, the traditional segments, the core segments, the things that we know best. The average quality. We'll start there. Matty C, first time producer. How do you like it so far? What do you think, man?
It's good. Feel comfortable.
It is. Okay. So that seat's not sinking in too much. It's
Not sinking in too much, just enough back support.
all right.
The core engaged.
Core
yeah.
engaged. Yeah, love that. Yeah, hey, for all those listeners that don't know, this is the Matty C from the famous segment, Matty C Memorial.
I think you guys need an official soundbite.
Yeah, let's get. Come on,
Yeah,
give
can
me
you
one.
get one?
Yeah, you asked me how I feel about the MIAC.
How do
Ooh, yeah, okay. Hey, Matty C, how do you feel about the MIAC, dude?
Well, soft.
Yes,
That was sick.
All right, we got the soundbite. That's going to be forever used.
Forever.
Well done.
Good work, man.
We didn't really prep you with this, but I think this is what we do on the back end show. We start with an average quality. If you don't have one, maybe give your time to think about one. If you have one, you can
Fire away.
You got one? All right,
Yeah,
jump in.
I was thinking the last couple weeks, I'm like, I got to be prepared if I ever get asked, if I ever need to have an official average quality. And I would say probably public speaking.
Mm.
I can talk to people, but I kind of look off in the distance, don't quite want to make eye contact, maybe stumble on my words a little bit. Not totally comfortable doing it, but I've had enough exposure at doing it that I can and make do. But don't excel, don't fail, right there in the average line.
Right on, dude. when you are having those situations where you have to deal with customers, so Matt worked at Target for a little bit, and you had to deal with customers not having happy experiences, and you were like a direct point of contact in some instances. Were those average instances, or did you feel comfortable just like letting them know like this is the situation, you'd have to be real with them type thing?
Most of the time, they just want to be heard. So I just kind of sit there, smile, like, oh, yep, I understand. It gets annoying when they talk to a team member and they're like, well, I want to talk to your manager. I'm going to tell you the exact same thing my team member did. And they're like, oh, okay. And then they just move on. So during those times, I've gotten to the point where the first few interactions, it was just definitely awkward. But I'm pretty comfortable, probably more comfortable speaking to strangers that I know I won't see in 20 minutes, maybe not see you for a couple of weeks when they come in to shop again.
Sure.
So yeah, I would say it's a little bit better than average in a retail experience.
So what was it like when where were you working when the moms create a Facebook group hating on the Chaska Target?
So they call it the real life of Chaska, kind of like the Real Housewives.
No way.
So it's a well-off area, so a lot of house moms that just have nothing to do all day long except complain and say how difficult their life is. So that's
what this group was for.
Yeah. So then they kind of do everything from dogs pooping on lawns to like just different organizations. And for a brief time when Target had kind of done some different process changes and they needed a little bit of time to adjust, the community did not like that.
No way.
And so there are a few people that kind of went on probably about a year ago now and just really got after Target for a good 9 months. I mean, it was every day people were dropping stuff. And 3 months ago, when we started to turn it around and really have like the store at like the brand, as they call it, someone would be like, oh, like they've got new management in there now. They're doing a good job, I think. People would then turn and attack the person trying to back Target. Not so much like, oh, I love Target. They're doing a great job. It was, oh, I think they're trying. You can tell that there's a little bit of improvement. And then they just get bashed. So these people are very spiteful, very hateful, and it's just like I could not deal with that community anymore. It was way different than what I experienced at St. Thomas, and I was like, I gotta get out of here. I just can't surround myself with this for 10, 12 hours a day.
Yeah, a lot of negativity.
Yeah,
that's not something easy to do. Good for you for noticing it early and being proactive. Not just sitting there and saying, why me, but being proactive and finding the solution. And congrats on getting the new gig. I'm excited to see how that turns out.
Yeah.
General Mills, right?
Yeah.
Hell
GM.
Yeah. Dude, I love that, man.
Good stuff, brother.
Fires me
Declan,
up.
what is your average quality, my brother?
My average quality is being socially aware enough when a time is not okay to not be a goofball.
All right, give me an example.
I would say at work, working at PCL, I would say most of my coworkers, I don't know if they ever believe me anything I say anymore.
Because you were a goofball for too frequently.
I'm consistently a goofball.
Okay.
And I think that doesn't come as a shock, right? I mean,
No.
that's who I am.
And your appearance is phenomenal today.
Yeah, this may scream goofball, but to me, that's just me.
Yeah.
So an example would be, so we have one of our coworkers, a field engineer. He is, he's actually he's an estimator, but he came out to the field to gain some experience for 6 months, and I was going back.
He's a guesser.
He's a guesser, exactly. Yeah, he just throw some numbers, and just that's his job.
Yeah.
And so,
is he kind of like a sorry to cut you off, but like a future, those people that tell your future?
yes, a fortune teller.
Fortune teller. Yeah.
Yes, he is, and he's a psychic reader too.
Yeah.
And
that sounds right.
Yeah, I don't know.
An estimator, a future reader.
You're on it, dude.
Okay.
Yeah, so this guy, he'll literally, like, part of his normal job, this was his normal profession before he came out to the field, was he would take clients and they would put their palms out and he would rub their palms and he'd be like, were you ever in Portugal in the year of 2014? They'd be like, oh my God, I was thinking about it. And that's how we get clients at PCL.
Yeah.
And that's how we build new buildings, actually.
It's a flawless procedure.
Well, and
to start the client
exactly
relationship.
Exactly. It's all funnel. You got to bring them in, and we bring them in through psychic reading and
That's top
estimating.
of the funnel stuff.
It's top of the funnel stuff, and then by the time they get to the funnel, it's at the bottom of the funnel. It's boots are on the ground, and we're building parking garages.
Wow.
So yeah,
Yeah.
it's pretty awesome. So anyways, this guy, he came in to work one day, and we were in a meeting, usually like 30 people, and he came in with a hat on. And he had hair. His hair was cut. It was long the day before, and then I noticed that he didn't have that hair. I was like, oh. And I was like, hey, his name's Jaden. I was like, Jaden, yo, why are you wearing a hat? Did you just get a haircut? He's like, yeah. I was like, well, why are you wearing a hat? Do you have like a mohawk? And for some reason, everybody heard that, and people were giggling and stuff like, oh, mohawk. And then this kid next to me was like, why don't we just start calling you Mohawk? And so it grew. I started a revolution on accident. And, when you start revolutions, especially with me, you start it, and I'm not responsible for how that thing grows, right? So today at work, Jaden came into work, and his hard hat was totally painted and had the words Mohawk on it, and it was on his hard hat like a Mohawk would be.
Mm.
And someone was doing that. He thought it was me. I was like, I'm just the culprit. I'm just the guy who's starting these things, setting fire, whatever. And so, some emails were exchanged, and, it turns out that, people are calling this kid Mohawk now. So.
Did he like it? Do they like being called Mohawk?
I think he does. Yeah.
Nice.
It's growing.
Shout out Mohawk.
Yeah, shout out to Mohawk. That's a good guy.
I like this guy.
Yeah, no, he's a good dude. I mean, what guy do you not want to ride into, the depths of the forest other than a guy named Mohawk?
Yo, next time I go to the depths of the forest, I'm calling Mohawk.
Or anywhere.
Yeah.
Depths of forest is a figurative term.
Oh, okay.
So
I was thinking literally.
yeah, you don't have to think literally,
Okay,
but you
yeah.
can if you want to.
Okay.
What do you think about that? Is that a good example of me just never being serious?
I think it's a great example.
Okay.
Well done.
All right, thanks, man. What's your average quality?
My average quality is waking up at different times to try to beat Matt Heron to the shower and always losing.
Always losing.
So like my average, I'm being proactive to try to not, and instead of just being like, hey Matt, you're pissing me off with your shower.
Yeah.
And
And you're being competitive, I would say.
I would say, yeah, being competitive. I was like, all right, I want to get there before him. So I'm
Mhm.
like, all right, I'm just going to wake up 20 minutes before and get in the shower before. He's in the shower. I wake up, and then I was like, all right, fuck it. I'll just wake up even later then. And he's still in the shower. And I'm like, what? You're kidding. It's from like 6:20 until like 7:10. He has the shower blocked off. It
Wow.
blows my mind. And for those of you, the listeners that don't know, and I'm guessing many of you do know because it's pretty well known, our shower's kind of clogged. So we get a little base layer of water at the bottom because it doesn't drain that fast.
It doesn't
and
drain, no.
Matt Heron's taking 50-minute showers allegedly, and it's basically a bath when I walk in there. So I'm going in there knee deep every time, ready to take a shower, and I gotta
Yeah.
swim in his afterbath. It's horrible. How nasty is that, dude? Yo,
Not a way you want to wake up.
not a way you want to start your day, but I need a shower to start my day because
Yeah.
putting your contacts in, you got to have some nice moisturized eyes. It needs to open up and then open up your pores basically.
Open your pores up. What better way
Anyone that wears contacts knows if you put in contacts right when you wake up, it's the worst thing ever. You're in pain. And if I put on my glasses, then I don't want to put on my contacts, but I really need to put on my contacts because I get work done better when I have my contacts. It's a whole thing. That's an average quality in a sense in itself. But hey, roommates, take shorter showers and stop clogging the shower.
Yeah, we got to. And, I'm not going to sit here and point fingers. But I will say Jack Burke.
He's been on the podcast. He knows.
The impetus of the drain in our house has everything to do with Jack Burke.
I agree completely.
Yeah.
And we'll leave it at that.
And there's really nothing else you could really say there. So yeah.
So yeah, those are our average qualities. Thanks for playing.
Yeah.
What did we learn?
Yeah, what do we good call. I want to also just start with this. I will learn 49 minutes into the show whether or not we can hear Matty C breathing into the mic. That's one thing I don't know.
Yeah, yeah. Ooh.
I want to know if we could hear that. I'm just like hearing his breathing, and I'm like, I kind of see bumps, but I don't know. So you're in the mic, man. You're in the saddle, which is fine. I'm not. Not a big
That
deal.
was saying of the week at one point.
Staying in the saddle. Yeah.
Staying in saddle.
Yeah. We haven't updated.
I don't think we ever wrote it down.
We never wrote it down, but we do have to change our saying of the month to just saying of the year.
Yep.
Dominate the sandbox.
I can start with what do we.
Okay. Yeah. Go for it.
So Facebook's mantra, I don't know if you guys know this, but Facebook's mantra is better to be up early than to be perfect.
That's like their motto.
That's their motto in their office, hanging all over the place.
Say that one more time.
Better be up early than to be perfect.
Better to be up early than to be perfect. Okay.
So they're just throwing stuff out there. Maybe at 80%, maybe only at 5%, and figuring it out with the flaws because they don't really even know what they're putting out because it's so new and so advanced that like they don't necessarily know all of the negative side effects that could happen or what's flawed inside the system that they just have to figure it out after it's up. And
that's awesome.
Yeah, and I love that motto. And sorry, and I was like trying to crack my knuckles. Kind of weird way to do it, but I did it. I did that.
Hey, you do you, man.
Yeah.
Just keep your just don't touch me.
Sorry, dude. That's my bad. That's my bad.
Don't worry. Don't worry about it.
Hey, dude. My bad.
All right.
Sorry. Better to be up early than to be perfect.
Yeah.
Better be up than be perfect.
I like that. And that's,
I think we're out. I think a lot of content that we put out there is just better to be up than to be perfect. Like this podcast currently. There's going to be a lot of ebbs and flows with audio.
Yeah.
I guarantee you that.
Ebbs and flows with audio, and I will also say just ebbs and flows with everything we do, dude. It's a bootstrap effort that we put on with the back pocket, and that's pretty much what that quote is the art of the bootstrap.
I mean, right now, Tech, you're a lion in a bay of flowers. How do you feel?
Pretty amazing.
Yeah, can't wait to chop up this visual because it's kind of hilarious. You're in a bay of flowers.
Yeah.
You're a lion.
This is like the lions. This is like the lions Zen Nirvana. Just beautiful, man. I mean, there's no other way to say it.
I don't know how to feel about it, dude. I'm frightened.
Are you?
Yeah.
Why? I mean, I'm not gonna. I don't bite. You know, I'm just here to just be me.
All right, what did you learn, dude? What did you learn if you're you?
All right. I learned that turning my phone upside down so that you don't see the screen saved me 50 minutes of screen time
In the week?
in the week. How nuts is that?
That's one time you've done that though. I want
1 week.
1 week. Yeah. I want to see a longer time frame.
Okay. All right.
I think you're on a great start, but I'm not taking it yet because I think that's an easy thing. That's in like a. It's not, you're taking control. I'm not saying you're deleting it. You're like Greggy Bosher would with Instagram.
Oh.
Completely just delete it.
I think
that's not. You're not handling it like that. I'm just letting you know you're not doing that. However,
yeah.
There's early signs of it.
I'm not getting rid of my phone.
I don't know, man.
I'm not doing that.
I think you're scared of your phone.
No, I'm not.
You're scared to hold it upright and look at it.
Bro, I'm a fucking lion. I'm not scared of nothing,
I think
bro.
you're scared of it, dude.
I'm not scared of nothing, and I would
scared.
never. I'm
You're
not,
scared.
dude. I'm not scared.
Correction, you're a lemur.
He's a lemur.
Dude, no, I'm a freaking lion, boy.
Matty C,
Look at me.
what did you learn? I know you're a lion over there. What did you learn today, brother?
I learned that lions speak softly, and yeah, that's about all I needed to learn today. So quiet down over there, Deck.
Oh, yo, shots fired.
Damn.
Controversy is the air we breathe on many fronts this week. We're typically a positive podcast. We typically like to spread the love. We're a 70s podcast without necessarily being declared as a 70s podcast. We can do that. Yeah, we've been leaning that direction for quite some. We got the rainbow Rory poster in the back. We got the PI rainbow poster right here. Decky's got this 70s Lion shirt with the fluorescent chairs.
Yeah,
floral
chairs that may or may not be from the 80s.
The fluorescent light bulb. I don't know if that's the 70s, but
yeah.
I said fluorescent, so I had to go with it.
Yeah, no, yeah, keep that going.
Yeah.
But yeah, we have these bracelets.
The bracelets also.
that were given to us at by Darby, but
Yep.
they're EDM bracelets, I think. So that's very 70s, I think.
Wisconsin.
No, that has nothing to do with the 70s. Besides the fact that Wisconsin was founded in the 1970s. But other than that, I mean, we are explosive.
I think that's the feel good story.
No. I got a feel good story.
Oh, can it be part of it though? Why do you got to shut it down entirely?
No. Okay, it's not. We're not gonna shut down anything here. I think part of the 70s podcast vibe that we've been putting out for 2 years now is the fact that we're explosive, man. With all these colors, we're explosive with our ideas. We're explosive with our bootstrap mentality, and we're colorful, man. We're all welcome. All are welcome here.
Nice.
And all are welcome at our boat party. Boom. So listen up, marketing interns. We got a big time boat party coming up here real soon. June 29th. And on the Mississippi River. Tickets will be out very soon. And we are putting on a very special festival on a boat in celebration of 100 weeks of Backpocket podcasting. And I'm very excited to announce that.
I'm very excited to offer early bird tickets for the first X amount of days, though that will be released. You will see it. It's a public event. All are welcome. It's a St. Croix River boat. We are having...
It's not on the St. Croix.
Where is it at?
It's on the Mississippi.
The Mississippi. It's on the Mississippi.
And we're going all the way down to Louisiana. Like, it's going to be, I don't know, 2-3 week trip. We're going to just follow the Mississippi all the way down.
Yeah, that's crazy. I can't believe we're doing that.
Yeah. So, I mean.
But we're doing it.
Well, we're doing it.
For you guys.
And if you guys want to come, buy some tickets.
We're starting at the top of the... We're actually going to go up north first to go to the very top of the Mississippi, and then we're going to go straight down thereafter.
All the way down to the bottom. And, we're going to have maybe some bands, maybe some food, and maybe a ton of beer.
There will be a band, there will be a ton of beer, and there will be snacks.
If we're lucky.
If we're lucky.
So with that being said, I know that made me feel good. I hope that makes you guys feel a little bit better on your car ride, your workout, dude, anywhere. However you're listening, dude, thank you for making it this far. As always, cannot wait for the momentum that will be built. Anyways, love you guys. Take care.
Take care.
But I've been thinking of the way you felt when you watched me rolling over the horizon line like we're lightning. It hasn't rained for a long time, but it's on the way.